You thought the Diddy scandal was the end of it? Think again.
It's being reported that Christian Combs has been served with legal papers in connection with his own sexual assault lawsuit.
Attorneys representing former yacht stewardess Grace O'Markey say she was sexually assaulted on board a yacht when she was 25 years old in December of 2022 by Diddy's son, rapper Christian Combs. They say his dad, Sean Combs, leased the yacht and had full control of its staff and the premises. O'Markey's lawyers say Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a hedonistic environment. They stated, quote, defendant Sean Combs fostered and encouraged an environment of debauchery. There was always a party atmosphere filled with suspected sex workers, suspected laced alcohol, violence, and sheer disrespect of women and the yacht's crew. The lawsuit also contains photos of bruises that O'Markey's lawyers say she suffered when Christian Combs violently grabbed her and attempted to force her to perform a sex act. They also included a transcript of an audio recording which they say captures O'Markey being forced to consume suspected laced shots of tequila. A lawyer representing both Diddy and his son Christian said in part, quote, we have not seen this woman's claim, but I'm sure we can expect the same kind of manufactured lies. Diddy is named in the suit for liability, but he was not accused of sexual assault in this court filing. His LA and Miami homes were raided just last month as part of a federal sex trafficking investigation. A series of lawsuits have been filed against the music mogul, accusing him of sexual misconduct. Meantime, Diddy denies any wrongdoing, and he has not been charged for any crime.
Now, Christian King Combs is being dragged into the legal firestorm, accused of groping, spiking drinks just like Diddy, and assaulting a yacht stewardess in a luxury escape gone horribly wrong. And the kicker? Daddy Diddy is named too for allegedly paying to shut it all down. It all started in December of 2022 in St. Martin. Grace O'Markey, a professional yacht stewardess, signs on for what she believes will be this luxury, family-friendly trip. The yacht is chartered by none other than Sean Diddy Combs. But what was promised to be a serene escape quickly unravels into something else entirely. Now, according to O'Markey's April 2024 lawsuit, the moment that they set sail, the tone completely shifted. There was drug use, loud music, and a party crowd, including some suspected sex workers, which replaced any notion of this being some type of family vacation. Christian Combs allegedly became the center of all the chaos. O'Markey claims that Christian, just 24 at the time, pressured her to drink tequila that she now suspects was spiked. What followed were some horrifying events: groping, sexual advances, and ultimately an attempted assault in the yacht's cinema room. She says she only escaped when another crew member. Unknowingly, she walked in, but it didn't stop there. The psychological trauma began to spiral, and when she reported the incident, the captain allegedly shrugged it off. Then, just months later, she was fired. O'Markey's lawsuit isn't just about Christian Combs. It names Sean Diddy Combs as a co-defendant. Why? Because the lawsuit claims he's not just the yacht's charter. He is the man who helped cover up all of it. O'Markey accuses Diddy of paying the captain to stay silent and to turn a blind eye to what was happening right under his nose. The charges include assault, battery, sexual assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, retaliation, and even premises liability, arguing that Diddy was responsible for creating a dangerous environment. She alleges that after speaking out, she suffered intense emotional distress, anxiety, depression, an eating disorder, and epileptic seizures. Her career was shattered, her relationship ended, and her mental health completely declined. According to the suit, the people responsible walked away unscathed. But this is not a he said, she said thing. There's allegedly audio from music producer Rodney Little Rod Jones, the same man suing Diddy in a separate explosive lawsuit. Reportedly, he captured recordings of O'Markey rejecting Christian's advances. Now, these tapes may be pivotal. They could validate the timeline and prove that the unwanted advances were happening. They also show Christian's state of mind. And here's where it gets much deeper. Christian Combs wasn't served legal papers until December of 2024 at his father's Miami mansion. The timing matters. Diddy had just been arrested in September on unrelated federal sex trafficking charges that we've been talking about. Well, the house was under scrutiny. Federal eyes were watching, and that is when Christian got served. Is that a coincidence, or is that karma? Now, in May of 2025, both Diddy and Christian are demanding a jury trial. Yes, child. A jury trial. They're ready to fight back. But what exactly are they fighting? And why is this case so crucial to understanding a much bigger picture? Let's not just gloss over this. Diddy isn't just some passive figure here. I think we all know that he's been accused of more than just negligence. If the lawsuit is accurate, Diddy actively paid to silence witnesses, paid to protect his son, and paid to make the whole incident completely vanish. And let's be blunt, that is aiding and abetting, that is obstruction, that is power being weaponized. Why would a billionaire mogul, who's very innocent allegedly, go to these lengths? What does it say about the environment he fostered? What does it say about all of the victims and how they're treated by these billionaires and these elites who are involved in so many of these sexual misconduct cases that we have seen over the years and many that we haven't seen? Because, like it's alleged in this lawsuit, they paid for it to go away. And we actually know that this is one of the things that Diddy has done throughout his entire career. More importantly, what message does this send to Grace, Omar, and every other woman, man or child who speaks up? That if your abuser has enough money and connections, guess what? You don't stand a chance. You can't come against them. And even if you do, there will be enough people to protect them and enough money to pass around so that anything that's happened to you will just disappear. No one will care, and you will be left stuck trying to deal with these things on your own. Now, Diddy and Christian's legal team is calling foul. Their attorney, Aaron Dyer, labeled the entire suit lewd and meritless. The idea, guys, that anything Diddy is accused of, with all the things we've known so far just in his RICO case, that they would even say that this lawsuit is lewd. This is gaslighting 101. He's accused Grace's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, of playing to the media, trying to stir up outrage and the spotlight. Nothing but theatrics, he says. He promises to follow a motion to dismiss, but let's ask the real question. When you have audio recordings, physical bruises, and cooperation from a crew member, is that really meritless or is that inconvenient? Dismissal doesn't mean innocence. Silence doesn't mean safety. And smearing a victim doesn't mean that she's lying. Folks, let me say this. Part of my work, how I got started even on this channel, is actually being not really a men's advocate, but I did relationship things. Over the years, I have covered story after story of men being falsely accused of sexual misconduct, whether we're talking about sexual assault, sexual harassment. The list goes on and on. As I've studied these cases and brought them to the forefront, you see an ongoing pattern. You just believe women, no matter what. Even if the evidence points the other way, there's even a case involving a Yale student who was completely exonerated, and he still was put through the ringer for nearly 10 years by Yale, by the press, by everyone. Now he's suing for over $100 million, and I believe he's going to get every penny. I can talk about case after case after case. I'm even working on one now on my other channel, Melanie Offscript. On there, I am talking about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, and Wayfair. If you don't know about this case, let me just tell you it is groundbreaking. A landmark Supreme Court case. It is shaking up Hollywood. The studios we're talking about include Sony, Marvel, Disney, and WME, which is the biggest talent rep agency in the world. We're talking about the New York Times. This has such far-reaching tendrils, and it is so egregious. When I say that these men are completely 100% innocent and that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds went to lengths I have never even heard of to destroy innocent lives, it would shock you all of the things that are coming out now. I bring that up because if you want to see me talk about or fight against false accusations against men, check out some of my old videos on my channel where I'm doing that. So when I speak on these things, it's not about bashing men or hating men. It's about looking at the merits and the pattern of who we're talking about. Diddy, under no circumstances would I ever defend him, just based on the things that I have seen. Not just from his trial going on now, but over the years. There have been so many things that have come out against Diddy, but then suddenly they make a little bit of noise, and then it goes away. It makes you wonder what really happened to all those cases. What really happened to not just the women who have accused Diddy of doing things, but also men? He has active lawsuits right now with men saying that he sexually assaulted them. Then there are children who have active lawsuits against Diddy, saying that he sexually assaulted them as children. When I tell you that this is not the man to fall on your sword for, I'm telling you this is not that man. This is not just another tabloid headline. This is a pattern. A disturbing, repeated pattern of allegations involving Diddy and his family. Diddy's own name is already entangled in, like I said, so many lawsuits. 70 of them right now. The raids on his home, federal investigations. Now his son faces his own reckoning, and for what? Alleged entitlement, exploitation, and abuse. When do we stop excusing it as celebrity behavior and start calling it out for what it is? Criminal, corrupt, calculated? Because these women are not groupies. They're not clout chasers. They are professionals, employees, mothers, survivors. When the system protects men like Diddy and Christian, it crushes the people beneath them. Grace was not there to have fun. She wasn't a yacht girl. She wasn't there to party and be seen and hobnob with someone rich. She literally was doing her job, and in the course of her job, she was not involved in a freak-off and wanted nothing to do with Diddy. I'm sure they have high-profile celebrities bigger than Diddy that charter this yacht. She's used to that. Then to find out when she comes there for her job, wearing usually, if you guys have seen them, they wear kind of like those collared shirts and those shorts. Not little. They're usually going towards the knee. Wearing sneakers and serving the people who are there. The people who are having the party or the event. She never had any issues with any other high-profile celebrity or rich person or billionaire, because that's all who can afford these things.